The Sports Scouting Report with Lee Brecheen. Brought to you by Medine's Collision Center in Baton Rouge. Take control, choose Medine's. Grosse Savant Lodge, south of Lake Charles, the true sportsman's paradise. Treads and Care Company in Central, the tires you need, the service you want. Harvey Auto in Shreveport, Bossier City, the name you have trusted for years. And Gage in Baton Rouge. Get better connected with Gage. Here's your host, Lee Brecheen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Lee Brecheen with the Sports Scouting Report. We've got a great guest who's I'm taking some of his vacation right now. Coach Wayne Stein, the head coach at St. Charles Catholic High School, joins us from Florida. I'll just say Florida. But Coach, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, there's a lot to talk about today. I mean, you're one of the few coaches to win a football state title and a baseball state title in the same year, which is not something that's done every day. And what is that like as a coach coming in and being able to, at a school that's proud and got great fans in both sports to win state titles? I mean, that's got to make you feel, even after all these months, still pretty pumped up, huh, Coach?
Yeah, I joke with all my buddies. I think it's probably time for me to start selling insurance, after that year that we there's no duplicating it, but, I think what we have at St. Charles Catholic, it started with Coach Monica, who's my mentor, my uncle, and just made everybody there, dream big and kind of speak it into existence. And what we have there is we have kids, parents, administration, all pulling in the same direction. And obviously championships are great, but I don't think I'm blessed that I'm at a school that I don't think that's how I'm judged. I think I'm judged on, am I getting the most out of the kids? We have tough kids and tough parents that allow us to push them. And right now that's kind of the secret to the success is, we don't have coaches trying to tell kids, hey, you need to focus on this, or kind of hard when the football coach is the baseball coach, and it's hard to give up one for the other. But our kids just come to work every day. They allow us to push them. I wouldn't trade them for anything. It's not a bunch of 4 or 5 stars. I'm not saying that we're not great high school athletes, but they're not over recruited. I think a lot of them are under recruited because I think their toughness is something that you can't judge.
Yeah, since going to the school and watching games at St. Charles since the late 80s, it's been a treat. Tough kids. Like you said, y'all don't always have the 5-star go. Y'all got a lot of great football players, baseball players. Coach, you played at the school. You were a former running back. You went to ULL and played football in Lafayette. What's it mean to be a former alumnus? Not just the head coach, but you were a former player at St. Charles Catholic too.
Yeah, special, and this is year 19. I don't know that I thought when I started my coaching career that this was going to be something that I did for my career, but I love St. Charles Catholic. It's been great to me. It's definitely special, whenever Coach Monica kind of handed over the keys, getting the comments from like the class of 99 and people just feeling like they had a sense of pride as well that I had taken over the job. I think that's one thing that we have special as well. We have a lot of people in charge of our athletic programs. Myself, Ty, Monica, as a softball coach, our basketball coach is an alum, that it's more than just a job to them. It's they really have a sense of pride in the school. They care about what it looks like. They care about how it's done. Yeah. And I think that's just something and they're not out there looking for the next job. I mean, I have a coaching staff full of guys that could be head coaches, that could be a lot of things, college coaches, in a lot of different sports in a lot of different areas. And we're just blessed to have a complete staff. And I think the pride in St. Charles Catholic is one of the keys to our success as well.
Well, I always say that St. Charles sells out the community when they sell out a game. I mean, it's not just the parents. I mean, y'all get everybody in the community want to go to the game. And if you don't buy a season ticket, you probably won't have a seat it's a very special place to go. I mean, it's one of the unique places in the state, I think. Coach, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want you to talk about Frank Monica. And I know you mentioned Coach Monica a few times, and your family, and but also what it was like to replace him. And again, that was so special to, even in your first year. I mean, he's won some championships, he's lost some championships. It's not, like you said, it's not judged by that, but his Hall of Fame career is off the charts, not just as a coach, but as a mentor and a father figure to all the kids that have come through the school, going back to Lutcher High School. But we'll be right back with more of Coach Stein from St. Charles Catholic. We're going to talk football and baseball, because I know Coach Stein loves baseball too. He's the coach. We'll be back.
Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sports Scouting Report. We got Coach Stein on. Wayne is the head football coach and the head baseball coach, something that's kind of common in the state. I mean, Jeff Curtis is the head baseball coach. He's also on the staff with JT there. It's very common to see a coach football. Episcopal High School, Coach Bourgeois is the baseball coach and the football coach. What's the demand of that, Coach? I mean, two sports. I mean, you go from one to the other, and I mean, they're both year round. I mean, that's a commitment there.
Yeah, the demand is really rough. Being a defensive coordinator for all those years and a head baseball coach was hard enough. And I wouldn't trade it for the world, but when you win a championship, the season never ends. We didn't get our football rings and have our football banquet to the Friday before, when we were supposed to play the state championship in baseball. So, it's a balancing act with, fundraising. It's a balancing act, with your kids. I do truly believe that, being the adult in the room, you need to be the one that finds the time to shut your kids down and modify workouts and make sure that you're giving them the capability to play two sports. Because at St. Charles Catholic, that is kind of the big deal. Every guy that was on the baseball field in the state championship was a football player. 22 to 25 guys in the varsity were a football player. 55 guys in baseball program, 48 of them are football players. So you have to be able to also, I think, balance. If a kid's choosing to decide to give one up, you need to be supportive of them. I have a great young baseball player who just decided to walk away from baseball for golf. And as athletic director, I have to support that decision. I have to give him my opinion, but I want to support all those kids. So it's a balancing act. Us as adults have made every sport 12 months, Lee. I mean, it's different than when we grew up. Summer workouts were summer workouts, summer baseball was summer baseball. And now with the balancing of, all the things that go on in the summer in both sports, it's tough. June is the worst month of the year by far.
And then we're going to talk about that. You're with your son for baseball right now, but we'll talk about that before we end the show. Getting back to Coach Monica, whose family, just my opinion, one of the most unique, dedicated coaches that you just can't replace. I mean, a Hall of Famer, spent 60 years in coaching, and Tulane coach at one time, and was a coordinator with them. And was a great coordinator in college. Lutcher won a state title at St. Charles Catholic. I mean, he's just one of the greats, huh? Wayne, I mean, he's family, unique.
No doubt. And what a lot of people don't know about Coach Monica is his baseball background. So he actually coached me my junior and senior year at St. Charles Catholic in baseball, not football. This was after one of his stints at Tulane. And he was an excellent baseball coach, and he was an excellent guy to bounce things off of while he was here from a baseball standpoint, and he still is. I mean, he's a guy that is somebody you can always lean on. And we always talk about, had he kept his career in baseball, there's no telling where his coaching career would have ended up. But, going back to Coach Monica, one, he tried to talk us all out of coaching. I mean, I remember as a young man, he wanted us all to go into something else. And Ty, who's probably the most educated of all of us, he actually went to medical school to be, not a doctor, be something else. And it just was in his blood. He couldn't go into that field. And then me and Nick, we kind of always knew what we were going to be. We were going to follow in those footsteps. I think the most important thing is a mentor. He had extremely high expectations for me. There was not a day that you could just get by at work, and he molded me into being, I think, a professional. He molded me into realizing that it was not about me. It's about surrounding yourself with as many good people as you can and holding them accountable. But he just had such high expectations for everybody. And I think that's what's, even sometimes I wake up in the morning, and that's the hard part is, Coach Monica used to be the reason I woke up in the morning. Now I got to be the reason that some other people wake up. So I think he prepared me to be a head coach. I have to be myself. I never want to think about it as me replacing Coach Monica. I just want to think about it as me continuing what he built. I always wanted to make him proud as an assistant. And I still feel the same way as a head coach.
Well, you've made him proud already. I mean, you were able to take a lot of the guys that he coached and you coached on the staff being there all those years. And like I said, it's not judgment on winning all, but it doesn't hurt to win a state championship. We're going to go take a break, come back. I want to ask you about the team and talk about the team coming up. And y'all have some players at Tulane, a couple of really good linebackers right now. I wanted to ask you about how they're doing and some kids that are playing across the country. And also baseball. What do you think of some of your guys coming up for baseball? Get their names out there a little more. We'll be right back with Coach Wayne Stein from St. Charles Catholic, football and baseball head coach. We'll be right back.
If you need a paint job or repairs to your vehicle, go see Medine's Collision Center located in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on Kincaid Avenue. The number to call is 357-7983. That's 357-7983. Your Baton Rouge Accident Advisors.
Welcome back. Lee Brecheen with the Sports Scouting Report. We have Coach Wayne Stein, head football and baseball coach at St. Charles Catholic High School in Laplace, Louisiana. Man, you talk about a town full of talent, East St. John, reserves down the road. I mean, what an area of football and baseball. I mean, I think every kid that grows up in that area is going to play a sport. I mean, it's just engraved in them to be competitive. Famous alumni, Tyrell Finroy, another alum from ULL. Coaches went to USL. Curtis Johnson, former NFL head coach and head football coach at Tulane University, is an alum of St. Charles Catholic. I know a few alums personally. I don't know any All-Americans. I know some people that went there. Good people, hardworking people. A lot of them worked in the plants that I know, and just good people, man. And I love eating. I'm gonna give them a shout out, but I like the La Coretta right by the school. It's a good little stop when I go there after games or before games. But Coach, your team coming back. I mean, you're always losing players. I mean, you always got a class leaving, one coming back up, and y'all do a good job of playing young guys, special teams, getting them ready for the next year. Very similar to St. Thomas More and some of the other schools in the state, where you're always trying to get the next group ready, where you're not going to be completely inexperienced fully. But y'all got a good team coming back, good senior group again. Couple underrated prospects. You got a great DB coming back. Good players. What do you think of this team coming back?
Well, Lee, I've been telling our team, we're not a good football team right now. I do think we have some pieces. We returned 11 guys that played significant, snaps for us. We lost 17 guys that played a lot of snaps, and going to be tough to replace a lot of those guys. But there's some talent still in the program. We have 109 football players, which is about half of the boy population of St. Charles Catholic. So we just got to find 22 to 30 of them that can get it done. We do have a heck of a schedule, which will challenge us. And that's the one thing about, having some success in the last, 15, 20 years. Scheduling is not always that easy. I mean, we're going to open up with Ponchatoula and the Jamboree, which is going to be a big thing. And, Shaw, Lutcher, and Turlings Catholic, and De La Salle, and Vanderbilt Catholic. So that's our first 5 games.
Wow.
So you're going to have to be ready. So we may take some lumps. Our record may not show it, but I think in the end, we know where we want to be in the end. And sometimes if you can handle the adversity, it'll make you stronger. But we do have some guys coming back. We have our leader, our quarterback on offense coming back. And he's a willing to do anything guy. I mean, he is the ultimate teammate in baseball. He went from shortstop to second base. Now he's working in center field. In football, he's the quarterback. He wants to work some at receiver because we have another guy that can throw it to him. And from time to time, he's probably going to be a punt returner and kick returner. So he is all about one thing, and that's winning. And I think in this day and age, you get a guy like that, you got a chance. On the defensive side, we're led by Caden Foster, who has a lot of experience. He played for us as a freshman. He was the every down starter last year. And we have some guys in there that have been there before. Especially like in Britton Dean in the interior. So our front seven is going to be pretty solid when you throw the Kyle Cannons of the world in there. We really have depleted the secondary and offensive line. So that's going to be our focus all summer. We have some pieces there, but very inexperienced pieces. So it's been a process. And that's why you do the 7-on-7s and all of that. So the cupboard's not bare, but it's going to be a process.
Yeah, you're not ready to go back to a title game right now. You got to get regrouped.
Right.
Right. Coach, your quarterback, isn't he kind of the poster boy of the program? Not a big guy, competitor, tough guy, 5'9", can run, always plays, guys play where you need them for the team, that nobody complains.
Yeah. And, interesting. He's the 5th Althama to play for us. And I've been blessed to coach all 5 of them. So Dana and Lewis are huge supporters of our school. They're not just parents. They do a lot of things. And Dana kept trying for a girl, and she kept pumping out boys. And thank God she did, because they've all been great players for us.
Is there a 6th one? Is there a 6th one or just 5?
There's not a 6th one. This is the last. So it's going to be kind of sad. And this is a senior year. And so, I've been a part of this young man's life since he was 3 years old, and just seeing him run around. And that's special at St. Charles, too. Such a turnover in families. You go from watching this little kid play on the side, play pitch and catch, and play, lot football, and then you just start in quarterback and shortstop and leadoff hitter. So that's part of the special part about being at our place. And he's a winner. I think he carried the ball. Like you said, he might be 5'9" is probably a stretch. 145, 150 pounds. I think he carried the ball versus Lafayette Christian, one of the best defenses in the state, 20-something times to help us win a state championship. And
unbelievable.
He made some runs that are just unbelievable. And he's just a warrior. He was raised that way. His brothers made him tough. And we're just blessed to have him.
Coach, we got one more segment. We're going to come back. I want to ask you about the state championship games. Just talk about your baseball experience and football. And then some of your updates on, I know there's a really good young linebacker y'all got at Tulane that's doing a good job. And y'all got another linebacker coming up this year. It's a senior that has a chance to be pretty good. And I want to talk about that and then talk about what you're doing with your son right now, trying to get some time with him while you can with travel ball and stuff for his age, for the, I think, 10-year-olds, like you told me, young kids. We'll be right back with more with Wayne Stein, St. Charles Catholic, head football coach, head baseball coach. Has been there for many years, played there, and also played at ULL football. Was a running back, was pretty good in his day, by the way. Wayne could run it, man. He was very underrated back in the day. I remember his daddy calling me when he was going to be a senior at St. Charles. So we'll be right back.
Be sure to take your car and truck for all your tire needs to Treads and Care Tire Company located in Central. The number to call is 331-8144. Family owned and operated since 1971. That's Treads and Care Tire Company.
Welcome back. We've got Coach Wayne Stein, the head football, baseball coach, St. Charles Catholic High School in Laplace, Louisiana. Coach, you going to have any time to hit the beach at all?
I don't know. I guess it depends on how well we play. If we play poorly, we'll have a lot of beach time. If we play well, we won't have much beach time. So
Right.
We'll see.
You were talking about how your whole baseball team's almost football and football, baseball, but we want to give you a chance to brag on baseball. We don't get to talk about baseball enough, but your state title, your championship, talk about what it was like. I think it's harder to win one in baseball, but so many games in a few days. You got to have tons of pitchers. You got to have at least 2 good pitchers. What's it like to win the process of getting to that state title game, to get there, to win a baseball championship in a tough classification in baseball?
Yeah, the one thing, Lee, I'm a big anti-split guy, but the one thing I've done as a coach the last couple of years is I've taken the split to my advantage and said, you know what, every year I'm going to schedule the toughest schedule I can schedule because I know I'm in the playoffs. So I've went out the last 3 years and really challenged our kids, and I felt like it has prepared them so much for the playoffs that there's nothing that's going to walk on that mound or walk in that plate that they haven't seen. You still got to win the game. And so the last 3 years that we've actually finished, because skip COVID, we've won 2 titles and lost in the title game to Notre Dame in 2021. And we just got kids that, I think we've pushed to get better at the end of the year. And I think last year we finished it on a 15-game win streak. This year on a 13-game win streak. And it's about not being the best team in March, being the best team in May. And we got kids that can really play baseball, man. Believe it or not, they come to St. Charles way more ready to play baseball than football. They play football because that's what we do in the river. And, they want to be part of what they do, but we have a program of great baseball players. We've been great for a long time. I'm just the guy that's in charge of it right now. And one day I'll walk away from it, and it's still going to continue to have a bunch of success. But we really have a great baseball program, and these kids they put the work in. They don't hate being around one another. There's a lot of competition, but ultimately those guys play for one another. And I think that's half the battle.
And you said you're going to have 7 and 9 signed somewhere in the end with this portal so muddied up. And this baseball, you can go to a junior college. It's pretty normal to go to a Delgado, a Bossier, LSU Eunice. Not bad when you go to them. But yeah, or anywhere, Meridian, wherever you want to talk about. But a lot of talent coming back for that. And in football, Coach, now that everything's going to be back in the dome, what's your thoughts on that for football moving forward?
Well, we've been blessed to play the state championship in a multitude of places, and I can tell you our experience at Tulane was awesome. I wouldn't have traded it pretty much for any time slot in the dome except maybe a Friday or a 7 o'clock Saturday. So that's going to be the balancing act. But I just say, I think the dome is a great venue and whatnot, but there were a lot of positives of what we were doing. It took us a couple of years to work the kinks out, but I could tell you this past year at Tulane was a great experience. We didn't do it for money, but there was a lot of money to be made. And our experience in baseball was unbelievable as well. We had 1,800 people there. I mean, it was as good a baseball venue and experience as you possibly could have. I do like, the thought of everybody being back together. It's just such a balancing act, and it's not the LHSA's fault. It's the amount of games. How do you give the amount of games the credence and the time slot than they deserve? And one year we played Riverside Academy, who was our biggest rival in the state championship, on 10 a.m. on a Friday. Had we played that game at Riverside Academy, both schools would have made over $50,000. And again, it's not about the money; it's about playing at 10 a.m. So the LHSA is doing the best they can, in my opinion. I'm not one of those people that think it's Eddie Borgnine's fault or anything. I think he's dealing with the hand that he's dealt, and he's trying his best. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the new group of selects. Here I am, part of a program that's won 2 state championships in 1 year, and I can't be more excited about the amount of more competition coming to our bracket. I mean, when I pray and hope that those teams that they're saying are select, so our kids can have a full bracket. At the end of the day, our football and baseball program started the playoffs in the quarterfinals. And I know the state championship special, but that's games that those kids will never get back for the rest of their life. We average signing 1 football kid per year out of 100. So that's 1%. The rest of those kids, that's football games they'll never get back. So I 100% support full brackets, support doing whatever we got to do to get this thing closer back together.
1,800 people at a baseball game is a lot. That's a heck of a crowd. And then I'm not a fan of 10 a.m. football championship games either, Coach. I think 10 a.m. is not good for football at all, anything. But Coach, tell everybody you're with your son, that 10-year-olds. How's it going, and what's it like to be with your son on the road? And watching him play now, you know?
Well, it's different, right? But, I help coach his team just because I'm always coaching everybody else's kids. So I feel like it's a chance for me to coach my own. And he's definitely improved. The team has had some struggles, but they've improved. And that's what it's all about. I mean, we're not out there chasing rings. It's about at the end of the day, feeling like better than they were when they started this thing. And World Series are a little different than what, the old days. You had to kind of earn your way in here. Now you kind of go and it kind of ends your season. It's a mini vacation and a culmination of your travel season. So we're excited to be here. I'm excited for the kids and hope that we continue to get better and that he can grow. And if he's good enough one day, he's good enough. If he's not, I just want to be a great teammate, and that's what it's all about.
And it's good that you're able to be there as a father, get to see him play and be with him. With the schedule you got in football, baseball at St. Charles Catholic, Coach, any final thoughts before we go? I mean, I know safe travel's getting back, and hope everything works out with him,
Yeah, the biggest thing I like to talk about in closing is I just have a phenomenal staff. And a lot of people don't even know if they know the staff I have. I mean, my defensive coordinator is Jason Brown, who was in Ascension Parish for a ton of years. And, he's done it the right way, and he's phenomenal. And John Talley as well, and our defensive line, and my offensive coordinator, and Coach Ty Monica, who has been an offensive coordinator in title a lot. But last year, I thought what he did at the end of the year was unbelievable with our offense. We always build it around defense. Coach Monica, I'm blessed. He taught me that. And even though he was an offensive guy, we always built the defense first. So that part is special. And, I just have a bunch of guys that will do anything for us. Our offensive line guys, Tyler Forsythe, Ashton Dewey. And then in baseball, Zach Weber's our head basketball coach, but he's my top assistant. And we got so many people pulling in the right direction, pulling in the same direction. I really believe that that's the key to our success. And we have phenomenal administration that knows sports are important, but I'm not going to sacrifice the culture of the school for athletics. And she understands that it's part of what attracts kids, but we want to do it the right way. And I think that's if there's an advantage we have, that's it. That we have a principal and coaches that are all pulling in the same direction. And I think that's what makes us special right now at St. Charles Catholic.
What also is special is go speak for the alumni backer group at St. Charles on a Tuesday night with over 150, 200 people that are avid for Coach. Hope to go back. I know I spoke with Coach Monica a few times. I hope to continue with Coach Stein to go to Laplace. But how many high schools do you go to on a Tuesday night with 200 and 250 people gathered around wanting to talk football, high school football? It's another atmosphere of commitment. Coach, thank you. Good luck with everything over there. Well, I'm going to end the show. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to end the show. We'll see you on Wednesday. You can get the show on YouTube, also Podbean, or wherever you get your podcast, or you can get it on our website, lafootballmagazine.com. We had Coach Wayne Stein on, St. Charles Catholic. Thank him for being on. And I know he's got to get back to his boys about to play baseball, and he's taking the time right before to help us here with the show today. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Wednesday.
Gros Savon Lodge, the true sportsman's paradise. Gros Savon Lodge has fresh and saltwater fishing, alligator hunting, waterfowl hunting, and eco tours located south of Lake Charles, Louisiana. Give them a call at 337-598-2357. That number to call again is 337-598-2357, and have the time of your life. Gage has served Louisiana for over 40 years. Let Gage create a custom-tailored solution for your business and become your partner in technology. Give them a call today at 225-753-4243 and help your business get better connected with Gage.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.